Hi there, Charlene here, and as promised, I wanted to make you a quick little video on how to take these pesky little measurements. With whichever program you chose, there should be some type of measurement card or somewhere to keep it. And if you don't find it, you definitely can track it on your Team Beachbody website. So go to teambeachbody.com, use your login information, and under your profile, there will be a place for you to actually digitally input all this information. If you don't want to write it on here, but writing it down is always good. All right, so you want to always take your before, and if this is a 21 day, so you're only going to take it on the first day and the last day. But if it's a 30 day or a 60 day or a 90 day, you're going to be taking them periodically once every 4 weeks about. That's traditionally it. First and foremost, you're going to need a scale. So just step on the scale. Do not let that number own you. It does not. It's not going to make or break you. It's just data. That's it. You just want to know the data, okay? So step on that scale, know what the weight is, write it down, and then forget about it. Don't even think about it anymore, okay? Next, I want you to take circumference, because as you change, your weight may not change too much, but your measurements are going to change if you're following the program. So the first place it says to take your measurement is your chest. You're going to get your little handy dandy measuring tape. Make sure the number 1 is where you start and you're not starting with the big number. And the proper measurement to take your chest measurement is across your nipple line. But you want to make sure that you're straight along, all the way along your back. And your arms are down so that you're not expanding your wings. Your arms are down and you're right across your nipple line. Meet the middle piece, write at the number and be like, okay, this is my number, write it down. The next measurement is your arm. You could do both sides or just one side. I traditionally just do one side. Usually your right side or your left side, depending on which dominant hand you are, is going to be the bigger one. So just go ahead and measure the bigger one. And you're going to do that right in the middle of your arm. You're going to take a measurement. And if you want to be really precise, you can have somebody help you and you measure the space between your arm. Oops, other side. Space between your arm, find the middle point, and then take your measurement there. I don't normally do my forearm. If you're trying to gain size or something in your forearm, maybe you want to track that if you're doing Body Beast or something. But I don't traditionally do the forearm. I never, as a personal trainer for many years, I haven't seen a lot of change in people's forearms. All right, next place of measurement is your waist. So for here, I usually take 2 measurements. One is your natural waist. Your natural waist is above the belly button where your rib cage starts to dip in. So basically at the end of your ribs and before your hips begin. So this is kind of the natural waist. It's a high waisted part. So I always measure the natural waist first and then find your belly button and then measure your belly button waist. And make sure again, you're straight all the way around and you're taking those measurements and document both numbers. It only says waist on here, but those are the 2 spots. You could choose to measure only 1. I always like to do 2. It's a professional habit that I have. Next is your hips. So you're going to be within your hips. You're going to find the biggest part of your booty or the widest part of your hips right here below the belly, right? Belly's up here. And you're going to go around. Pretty sure that's the widest part. It always helps to have somebody help you do this. And then you take your measurement from there. Again, making sure you're straight all the way across. And then next, when you do your thigh, I always go right at the kneecap, take the measuring tape, and go 10 inches above the knee. If your leg, for some reason, is not 10 inches, then go 8. All right? But 10 is my go-to number. That also happens to be usually the widest part of the thigh. So you take the 10-inch spot, you go around, find your measurement. And you can or cannot do your calf. It's up to you. Again, I don't always see a huge change in calves, but sometimes there is a change and every inch matters, right? So with your calf, you're just looking for the widest part of the calf, all right? You're just gonna go around, measure the widest part of your calf. That looks about the widest. and write that number down. So I hope that helps you in deciphering how to take the measurements. It does help to have somebody else do it for you. I always do it on the dominant side of the body, which is usually the right, because most of us are righties. But if you're a lefty, I would do it on the left because that happens to be your dominant, and it usually is, like I said, the bigger side. But either side, it doesn't matter. You're not going to be that far off on either side. Just get those measurements, document your transformation, because you could be the next Beachbody Challenge winner. They can't enter, they're dogs.